We've left Eilat and are on our way to legendary Masada the Fortress, an ancient fortification in the Negev desert, overlooking the Dead Sea that rises over 1,000 feet from the surrounding land, and is one of Israel's most popular tourist attractions, and one which has great significance both in Jewish history and culture. There are two ways to ascend: the snake path, a dusty track for the adventurous with time on their hands, and a comfortable cable car that not only provides spectacular views over the Dead Sea and surrounding desert, but also takes less than 5 minutes. That's the snake path below, and clearly it's not very popular. It's not named because there are many snakes there, but because, as is clearly visible, it snakes its way up. Quite apart from the fortress itself, the experience of the cable car ride and the amazing views alone is worth the visit. The legend is intriguing. Even before the fall of Jerusalem to the Romans, the Sicarii rebels, literally the dagger men, came here, overpowering the small Roman encampment. But after the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70, it became the last bastion of Jewish resistance to Roman rule. Thus, after Jerusalem fell, the Roman army and an entourage of almost 10,000 came here and surrounded the rebels, their camps still visible. There were said to be 967 rebels, including many women and children. The Romans finally ended the siege by building a siege ramp on the western side where the cliffs were not so high. The 8 Roman camps that surrounded Masada can still be seen. According to Josephus Flavius, the siege of Masada ended in the mass suicide of 960 people, the Sicarii rebels and their families. There's much controversy about this account, as only 28 bodies were found. So how did they do it? The men first killed their wives and children, and then drew lots, and 10 men killed all the others. Then the 10 men drew lots, and 1 man killed the other 9, and then committed suicide. Thus there was only 1 person who actually killed himself. How come there were buildings here to begin with? Well, Masada was the first site which Herod the Great fortified after he gained control of the kingdom. He was apparently neurotic about being killed by his enemies. He began building in 35 BC. The complex was like a small city atop a mountain. Remains can still be seen. Storehouses, bathhouses, all elaborately and intricately decorated. Parts of the decoration amazingly still visible. Here we're literally walking through history. This is the bathhouse or caldarium. A model shows what it would have been like, but the ruins of it remain 2,000 years old, the paint still on the walls. The way they set it up was to place the floor on columns and have a furnace heating the underfloor. Outside there are many storehouses, as this was a very remote location. A bronze model shows the northern palace. Below, the ruins of it. The stadium opposite was built for Israel's 40th anniversary, when the main celebration was held here. The synagogue here has a very special significance. It's said to be the oldest Jewish synagogue in the world. Josephus mentions it in his account of the siege of Masada, which means it actually outlived the temple in Jerusalem by 3 years. These columns would have supported the ceiling. An interesting fact is that when it was excavated, 2 chapters of the scriptures, Ezekiel 38 and 39, the prophecy of the dry bones coming to life, were found buried under the floor. Prophecy that the nation of Israel would be reborn. So it's time to move on. Qumran and the Dead Sea await us. Next on destinations, we move north from Masada to Qumran, where in late 1946, early 1947, the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in a cave here by a shepherd boy near to this ancient settlement that is more than 2,500 years old. Then enough of soaking in history, a chance to soak in the therapeutic waters of the Dead Sea. Get coated in Dead Sea mud and get floated. a fun interlude. Don't miss it.